All right. Book 4 in 4 minutes. That's the goal. If I had to pick a theme for this book, it would be like submission, right? Comes right out of Satan's mouth. And that soliloquy, the opening soliloquy where he's honest with himself and he experiences serious doubt as he's flying towards the Garden of Eden, and he's questioning. He's like, "Whoa, what am I doing?" Like, he even considers repenting, and he thinks, "Could I stop now? Right? What am I doing here? Aren't I just making myself more miserable? I can't escape hell. I am hell. Hell's just following me around." And he says, quote, "Is there no place left for repentance? None for pardon left? None left but by submission. And that word disdain forbids me." He refuses to submit. He wants to be top dog, all right? To quote Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. He finally resolves that evil will be his good. Now, it's interesting that when we see Adam and Eve for the first time in the Garden of Eden, it's like from behind Satan, over Satan's shoulders. You know, we sort of follow him in, and he sees them. We kind of get it through his lens. And remember the Petrarch and Sestet that we pointed out? When we see Adam and Eve for the first time, the narrator, the bard, Satan can't help but notice that Eve seems made to be submissive, to like Adam is made to serve God, and Eve is made to serve the God in Adam, right? And this is traditional sexism, old school, man, and it's right there. What's interesting about it, I think, is if we take the sort of attempt at poetry here, if we take the Sestet's word for it, which just describes her hair, and the whole Sestet thing I noticed because I read this article by Stephen B. Dobransky called Clustering and Curling Locks. If you're interested in how important hair can be to the interpretation of this poem, give it a look. It's really interesting. It's got pictures. But CDE, so it suggests there's resolution. There's no conflict. The conflict part of the poem isn't there. And my question is this the case, right? Like, there's a reason Satan thinks makes Eve his mark, right? Adam's king. He's not in conflict so much, but Eve might be more readily tempted to fly with the gods, to be with the angels, to skip a few links in that old great chain of being. And so the question is, right, do we submit, or do you challenge the status quo, I guess? I don't know. Anyways, that's 3 minutes. Done. Don't forget about your prompt. Don't forget about your essay on Monday. Remember, character motivation, all right? When it comes to characters, just like a sonnet has a good conflict resolution, all right? It's like if it were like a rubber band. The character wants something, can't get it, it tightens the tension a little bit. They try harder, the plot gets in the way, it gets tighter, all right? Finally, the climax, does that character get what they want and become a better character or change? I don't know, but at this point in the poem, we're just asking what these characters want, what motivates them, so that we can get a better idea. It's like as their character arc develops, right? Anyway, have a good weekend. Bye.